It was a tough year for Asian economies, which had to deal with the impact of geopolitical tensions, sanctions, and trade barriers. Now, what lies ahead as the region heads into a new year? To discuss the prospects, our Moon Hye-ryeon spoke with the Asian Development Bank's chief economist.
Amid external conflict and unusual weather posing challenges this year, Asia's economic outlook going into 2024 remains solid. The Asian Development Bank's December report on Wednesday showed the region's growth has been upbeat on the back of strong domestic demand and the recovery in the tourism sector. However, the agency's chief economist, Albert Park, discussed how certain trends are affecting the region's economies.
So, unfortunately, we live in a world where there's been a lot of geopolitical kind of tensions, and we've had sanction regimes, trade wars, and other industrial policies that are kind of erecting barriers to free trade. And we think that's not healthy for the region because Asia in particular historically has really benefited a lot from open trade and export-led growth.
As well as geopolitical tensions, other factors such as unusual weather and slowing global demand in certain industries have raised concerns about supply chains. South Korea has experienced food security challenges as a result of the heat wave which swept through the country this summer. And recent disruptions in urea exports from China have highlighted a need to reduce dependence on a single source of key materials.
We hope that countries can think together about how to make, number one, make agriculture more resilient to supply shocks, but then also think ahead and come up with plans where countries do not overly restrict their trade when there is a negative shock, because that really hurts the most vulnerable countries, and to think about instead protecting consumers through more targeted policy measures.
Despite these headwinds, the ADB revised its 2023 growth estimate for Asia, raising it by 0.2 percentage points from its earlier forecast in September. Its projection for South Korea remained unchanged, but the country's main export sector could be seeing a recovery.
Well, we're cautiously optimistic. Not just Korea, but the global semiconductor market has kind of bottomed out earlier this year, and we're seeing a recovery in global demand. The U.S. economy is growing a bit faster, than we had expected earlier, which helps.
With the Fed's decision to keep interest rates steady for the third consecutive month on Thursday, it's predicted to lower rates in 2024, which is welcome news for the region.
I think the lower interest rates are better for the region because high interest rates really put financial pressure. It raises the cost of capital and investment. It leads to kind of capital flowing out of the region and gives pressure on countries to raise their interest rates in response to the higher U.S. Fed rate.
With these economic trends expected to continue, governments will have to form policies targeted at sustainable growth. Moon Hye-ryeon, Arirang News.